Hello, everyone. So I have a long overdue update on my geometric animation. Started a mini series in the last month called Vis and Process, and have felt very conflicted because there's been no process. I've not made a lot of progress, I should say, on this project just because the data side alone has been massive. Um, just trying to imagine and build out what this would be to create this animation. You aren't quite sure what I'm talking about or what the project output really is, go back and watch my other videos on the geometric animation where I talk through my inspiration and the initial build and concept for this. But I do, without any other stalls here, want to kind of show where I'm at so far. So I'm kind of taking this frame by frame. I did a snapshot of the GIF. That way I could kind of freeze each frame of the animation into, right now I'm kind of splitting the video into 5 segments. And then I'm using data with columns, rows. I've got color, shape, size, and then time. And time I put on pages. If you've not used it before, pages is a lot of fun. So a great way in my mind, if I'm going to animate something or bring something to motion, I'm going to use pages. So watch what happens with what I've got done so far when I hit play. Yeah, not so stunning. I mean, something's happening, but it's not the big wow yet. It's getting there. There's a lot of work to do. And so it ends up being for every individual data point, and I'm still adding and removing some as I go here, but I'm having to pick through every individual data point times 5 and kind of watching. Okay, so it's a big circle in the first frame, and it's I'm calling this blue, and then in the next frame it's reduced in size, or maybe it's changed shape altogether. Now I'm kind of splitting this into 2 pieces. The further I've gotten in the project, I think the more idea I've kind of unlocked conceptually on how to make this happen. I'll play at the very end of the video the animation one last time so you guys can see it, but there are these lines kind of moving between the dots that at first I was like, oh, that's just shape. And as I've played with this more, I don't know that I can achieve exactly what I'm looking for with shape alone. So the next idea, which don't laugh, the next idea that I've come to is what if I started using lines and we put something on path? I don't know, just throwing some ideas out here really quickly. And we do a dual axis. Yeah, looks a little crazy still. I know, right? That's not what we're going for exactly. But I think I can kind of get there with some tweaking and a dual axis to achieve the various effect. This project was kind of fun recently, talking to one of my little boys as they're learning math in school, and the concept of an array came up, and they're using columns and rows to understand math problems. And so I was explaining, well, that's what I do for a living. I use columns and rows all the time, right? Everything's an X and a Y coordinate. So you really can do just about anything. And I showed him this GIF, and his mind was blown. So here it is. This is the end result, what we're going for, everybody. Not sure if I'm going to ever get there. There's a lot of work still to go. But wait, let me see if I can play them side by side. That would be kind of fun. Ignore everything in the background. This is me doing a really terrible job of putting this together. Okay, let's see if we can play them together. Ready? They're nothing alike. I'm nowhere close. This might be for the next 10 years of my life. I don't know. But in the truth of showing a Vis and progress, this is what happens when we take big ideas and they take a long time to put together. And sadly for this project, I could spend hours on tiny little dots without really any big wowing factor of the work that's going on behind the scenes. Anyway, that's where we're at. I'll share more when I have a better update. Keep your fingers crossed this works. Bye.